Hi there, and welcome to the first edition of the sort of pre-match video of Gersnet Podcast. We're previewing Rangers against PSV at Ibrox tonight. So for the first time this season, right mate, how you doing? You get to listen to two fat guys talking shite before the football. And you'll also get the post-match stuff as well. Hopefully it'll be a good result. So Eric, how you been? I've not seen you now.
No bad stuff, no bad. I'm just kind of doing the Alfredo Morelos thing of coming back for the summer, a bit extra timber on me.
I know.
Because you know how slim and youthful I was last season.
Absolutely.
I needed the summer to go over Rangers getting a European final. Now we're back with another massive match.
Another massive match.
Nerves can't take it, but I'll give it a go. Yourself, mate, how you doing?
I'm doing well. This is my first game actually. I couldn't make.
You're watching your boy playing
juniors? Yeah. So there's been a couple of issues as to why I've not been at Ibrox this season so far. So this is my first game. Looking forward to it. Before we continue, I have to thank our partners at Forest Precision Engineering, Zenith Coins and Football Prizes. Have I got that right?
Sounds good to me. Good to me.
Big thanks to those guys. So PSV, how are you feeling about it, mate? I mean, obviously, big turnaround last week,
Yeah.
To get to this stage, and we've got history with PSV.
We certainly have. It's history coming out with ears with this whole thing. It's just, to be honest, from a nervous tension point of view, it's too much. I mean, it's raining, it's a bit clammy, just exactly like it was
in April, May.
Before that semi-final second leg against Leipzig. And suddenly here we are again. Absolutely mammoth game. We hadn't played Leipzig before, but it was that run we had after Christmas to get us to the semi-finals. Dortmund, Red Star Belgrade, you're playing teams that have won a single European Cup, same as we've got tonight with PSV. Teams we'd played, 3-4 times before. Same as tonight with PSV, fourth time we're meeting them. And the stakes are just beyond belief. Look, I know everybody talks about the Champions League, it's the money and what have you, and you don't get any glory with that money these days, but I think we've got to take a weakness. We know what's at stake here, but I think we're just going to say to ourselves, in terms of Rangers being back emotionally, we thought we'd done it by getting to a European final, but I think in concrete terms, material terms, to get the money for the Champions League, that puts us in a total level pegging with anybody else in Scottish football.
And I think it would also give us the opportunity to maybe strengthen the squad before the transfer window closes.
Exactly. But I think we've got to. The one thing that's going to come in is the glory.
I'm not dismissing the Europa League, by the way, because if I'm being honest, I think there's an argument to say that that's our level. But the money that comes with the Champions League, then obviously that would be a huge thing, and would help the club, bring in some more players and then be challenged for the league again, and
it's
a cycle.
It's cyclical. I think everybody, we won that league title, that was vital, and we got to a final European trophy, and that felt like an absolutely massive, unmistakable kind of cathartic moment. We're back, we're totally back. But the one thing that would come with winning that European final was getting straight in to the group stage and the money that comes with it.
And pot one, by the way.
Pot one, I know. Never mind.
I'm getting trouser trouble just thinking about it.
I know.
Pot one.
The thing about it, I think it's also look at it. Was it 12 years since we've been in the Champions League group stages? We're trying to go for the 11th time we've been in the group stages. That's an impressive record as it is, and we're going to top that up, to be topping that up already, have the chance to top up that record already. I think speaks volumes for what we've done in the last 10 years. The last Champions League match proper we played was in an Atatürk stadium in Turkey.
Right.
This season's final in the Champions League. I'm just saying.
So it's all written up. Should also point out that it's two founding members of the Champions League that are playing tonight, and we're represented in the stars on the patches of the sleeves.
Campbell Ogilvie.
PSV and Rangers were two of the original 8 teams that were in that Champions League.
Played the same night, the first night of the Champions League, and Arthur Newman was involved with PSV when they were. I think they drew with Gothenburg that night. I think they drew with Gothenburg.
And they were at home to Marseille.
We were home to Marseille. I think they were 2
only game I wasn't in that one.
It's alright.
That's the only
one I was at. Well, after Leeds.
Anyway, right. Before we move on to tonight's game, we have to talk about the game 20 years ago, or 20 odd years ago, the 4-1 game, because it was one of the best nights in my Rangers following career, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
I genuinely came out of Ibrox that night thinking, you're fucking winning this thing. You're winning the Champions League. We're fucking so brilliant that night. Michael Moles was just on another level. And then obviously things go a bit pear-shaped, but I mean a huge result that night, you know, and it does show that, you know, and it's Gio against
Van Nistelrooy
night again, you know, Van Nistelrooy scored that night.
He scored that night. Gio had the 2 assists that night, Michael Moles 2 goals, and we've got Bert Van Lingen and Dick Advocat in the technical area. And tonight it's, you know, we've got Gio's a Feyenoord legend, you know, Dave Voss, an Ajax guru, you know, and Roy Mackay, a Feyenoord legend as well, a Dutch legend. So they've got the inside knowledge. It doesn't scare our coaching staff. We're hoping that they've got the same kind of level of insider knowledge that the little general had back in '99. I can't see he's getting the same kind of result, but I don't know, Colin. I've been saying that since January. You know, I've seen that since the Dortmund game. Can he see he's doing this? I hope we give it a go. But that's 6 consecutive home games at Ibrox under Gio in Europe that have all been absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. And apart from the Sparta Prague game, we have to win 2-0 to get through, with Alfie get both the goals. Tavernier gets the first goal in every game. There's a magic there, and I think you and I are both on the same page. We're just thinking, is it due to run out, that magic, or are we going to, we're kind of halfway between, is it going to run out, that magical run, or is it a sign that we can be confident against anybody?
Well, one of leads me to my next question actually. Being at home first, does that maybe change the dynamic a wee bit? Because obviously the run last year at the final, it felt like every single round on the way in, we were away first and brought them back to Ibrox and done the business. Does this change the dynamic a wee bit?
Well, the wee thing is, the thing that the folk have kind of forgotten about is the one game we did play at home first, one tie, was Red Star Belgrade, and that was the biggest win we had at home. At the end of the game, it was 1-3-0 that night. I think the Red Star Belgrade had the ball in the net about 15 times. And fantastic penalty save for Griggs. So it was a hell of a game. But I also think we lost all our away games apart. And in the run post Christmas, we lost all our away games apart from the result of all results in Dortmund when we were absolutely phenomenal winning there. And I feel we're due, even if you want to include the Europa League final itself or the heat, whatever the tiredness got to us, I think we're due an away performance. I don't want to be relying on that at the end of this tonight, but I think we're going to be due an away performance. And so if it's tighter tonight, depending on how it goes, I'll not be too worried.
A lot of chat in the previous round from USG about how they didn't give a fuck about the atmosphere at Ibrox. And you know, Big John done his talk shit, get banged thing on Instagram. Van Nistelrooy seems to be adopting a different tactic. He's been quite praising of the Ibrox sort of atmosphere and the Rangers support in general.
He's as long in the tooth as he is in the face. No horsing about.
You were doing so well.
I know. I just couldn't help it. It's puntastic. Can't help myself. But he was. I wonder. He's no daft enough to kind of fall for that, Van Nistelrooy. He's going to praise the atmosphere at Ibrox. By the way, the atmosphere at the Philips Stadion, Stadion, that's Dutch for stadium. By the way, you get the full, you get the bilingual stuff here.
Free content, by the way.
The atmosphere over there, all the major Dutch stadiums, is going to be absolutely scintillating as well. So it works both ways. Our management team might know all about it, but our players might not. But I think tonight, Van Nistelrooy will have them prepared. The Dutch are used to intense atmospheres. We saw Feyenoord kind of melting as well a few years ago at Ibrox. But I think we should be up for it. I think we should see this as ignore the fact it's a first leg, and we can get as much damage done as possible tonight. I think the place is just what's at stake here. What's up for grabs. Will just take the crowd to a new level, and I think we need the change, Colin. I think, listen, it's testament to our success that if we fail in this game, we fall into the Europa League. At the group stage of the Europa League, which was like an impossible dream 2-3 seasons ago. We'll now just fall into that as a kind of backup. That'd be like a failure. And I think the players and the club itself might actually see that as a wee kind of. They'll still enjoy it. I'd still enjoy it, but it's a bit of task. We have to do all that stuff again. I think you need a newness. You need a new challenge. Apart from needing the money, apart from needing the success.
Well, I don't think we need it as much as we used to.
No, absolutely not. But I think we need the challenge as much as anything else. And we've got through a new level this season. Just getting through that round that we got through last week. That's an improvement on the Malmo thing last season. So even if we go tonight, we've already improved in Champions League terms. But we want to go all the way.
In terms of the atmosphere as well, we've been informed that Fair are attending tonight, so obviously be mindful of what you're saying and what you're singing, because I mean I do think we can look at that organisation and say that it's not impartial and that it certainly has an agenda, but also theirs don't fucking give them evidence to do stuff. So yeah, just be careful tonight. Team news and stuff like that, I don't know team news, but in terms of possible team lineup, what are you thinking in back four? I mean, I think the right side's cemented. What are you thinking left side?
I have no idea, Colin. I'll be honest with you. I mean, Frankie set us up, the boss Frankie, he set us up a billion by tweeting that we were going to be on tonight, previewing the game, and they'll tell you what the team's going to be, they'll tell you what the tactics are going to be. But thanks, Frankie. You know what I mean? I've just boiled it down to Goldson, Tavernier, Lundstrom, Ryan Kent, and possibly Tillman are the only guys I'll be rioting if they're in the team tonight. Everybody else, I think it's up for grabs. Everything else, there's no another position that I'm really in any way particularly confident about. Yeah. Even down to Cholak, even us praising him the high heavens. You think? I think so, but
I think he's starting.
But what I would want, you know what I mean? Like I'm lamenting the fact Bassey's not here. I'm lamenting the fact that Hollander's no fit. Suter, God bless him, he's got his problems just now as well. I wish he was available and at his best. It's a kind of, I think there's a few positions, and Yilmaz versus Borna's just hitting form again, but I don't know if it's enough form for this level. I think he's starting the night, but there's a few positions that I'm not just unsure about, I'm kind of worried about. And this mob score goals. They score goals. There's a lot of talk about them being conservative tonight. I don't know why they would be, but also they don't keep clean sheets. And I think it suits us to be aggressive as well, but I'm worried about us at the back tonight more than anything else.
Would they not suit us? Because I genuinely think the Geo's teams are better when teams come at us.
We want that.
I think we kind of want that.
I think we really enjoy it. I think that's why we end up going to somewhere like Dortmund last season and banging in 4 goals, because we're drilled in this mindset of playing your Livingstons and St Johnstone and Kilmarnock and Ibrox, where they're all sitting behind the ball, they can really do it. When somebody comes to try and play us at football, it's a freedom. It energises this Rangers team. We actually love it. So I'm quite happy for PSV to be a kind of goal-getting kind of team. I hope I don't regret that at the end of the night, but I want them to come at us because it's going to be a game of football. But that's because I love the players we've got going forward. As long as Ryan Kent's playing, I'm happy with everything. I'm talking about missing Bassey, but right now I'm not in any way missing Joe Aribo, because Tillman has basically filled in for him. I think
so.
Tillman's doing the same kind of job.
Do you think he'll start on the right or number 10?
I'm going for the old 4-2-3 when I'm near the hole. I want him in the hole. I want him in the hole, and I want us going for it up front. Because I think we're so kind of. Lundstrom can go back, Sands can go forward. Lundstrom's a better centre half than Sands is a midfielder. I'm a bit confused about all that just now, and I'm a bit unsure about it. Is Ryan Jack fit enough? Is Davis, on it enough? I can see lots of it, but there's only I'd say 4 or 5 certainties that I want to be starting tonight. Which means there's only 4 or 5 places I would be upset if certain players weren't playing. I'll go with whatever Gio wants to do. Glenn Kamara, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in beside Lundstrom, or sitting maybe even just a wee bit in front of him. But I'm not guessing the team at all, Colin, because I genuinely don't know.
I think Gio might go for the experience tonight. So. Did you get that?
I hope Fair didn't hear that.
That's us. Partial stadium closure. So. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamara started, because he's done so well in these tournaments, these games before. Ryan Jack. I love Ryan Jack, but he's just looked off it this season. You know what I mean?
It's that strange thing when the fact he played the whole game on Saturday makes you think he's not playing tonight. You know what I mean? As opposed to vice versa. But
I just wonder if Coleman might play the number 10 and he'll go with Tondo on the right.
The one thing that's the one I would maybe say, I don't know. I think Matondo's played himself into being a really good substitute, which isn't an easy job now. The Rangers, the size of the squad we've got, getting to be, we've got like Scott Arfield and all that kicking about.
I would take getting paid to play and then sitting the bench for Rangers. I would take that, yeah.
Yeah, but I think on Saturday there he had a poor kind of first 50 minutes, and then he put in a cracking performance after that, setting up 2 goals, hitting the bar, and I think I wouldn't be too upset if he was starting, but I have a funny. I think we're thinking Lawrence or Matondo, but I don't know. I think Scott Wright. I think Gio still wants Scott Wright to be playing, and I'm kind of biased towards in the middle. I'm biased towards Glenn Kamara. I think he's missed a bit of level. A really underrated player. So I'm not too worried by any options. I say I'm not too enthused by some of our options. I think things could be better in terms of our overall squad kind of fitness. But you know, if I take those 5 kind of positions that I named, I would be upset if it was anybody else.
You know, in terms of there's a boy phoning me.